In a time when most ancient civilizations treated women as property, powerless and voiceless, the Celtic world was different. Here, women were not just mothers and wives. They were warriors, rulers, druids, poets, and landowners. They could divorce, own property, choose their own husbands, and even lead armies into battle. In the eyes of the Celts, a woman's strength was as valuable as a man's. Unlike the Greeks and Romans, who believed war was a man's duty, Celtic women could fight. They trained with swords, spears, and bows. They rode chariots into battle. They stood shoulder to shoulder with men in times of war. Roman writers, horrified by the sight of women fighting as fiercely as men, described them as wild, bloodthirsty, and fearless. Some of the most famous Celtic female warriors include Boudica, the queen who led a rebellion against Rome, burning London to the ground; Scathach, a legendary warrior woman from Scotland who trained Celtic heroes in combat; Cartimandua, a queen who ruled through strategic alliances and warfare. To the Celts, bravery mattered more than gender, and a woman could be just as deadly on the battlefield as a man. Celtic women were not just warriors, they were leaders. Unlike many ancient cultures, where power passed only through male bloodlines, the Celts allowed women to rule. A woman could inherit a kingdom, negotiate alliances, and lead warriors into battle. Famous female rulers include Queen Meb of Connaught, a powerful Irish queen who waged war for a bull she claimed was rightfully hers; Boudica, the rebel queen who led one of the greatest uprisings against Rome; Cartimandua, a queen who played politics and war to maintain her power. In Celtic society, leadership was earned by strength, wit, and wisdom, whether you were a man or a woman. Not all Celtic women fought with weapons, some fought with knowledge and magic. The Druids, the Celtic priests and scholars held great power in society, and many of them were women. They were healers, advisors, and prophets who could foresee the future, heal the sick with herbs, and magic act as judges in disputes, curse their enemies with powerful words. Roman historians wrote about Celtic priestesses who performed sacred rituals, spoke with spirits, and guided warriors before battle. Their power was so feared that when Rome conquered Celtic lands, they targeted the Druids first, knowing that without them, the people would be easier to control. But the Druidic women lived on. Their knowledge passed through whispers, stories, and hidden rituals. Celtic women had more rights than most women in the ancient world. They could own land and inherit property. They could choose their own husbands or refuse marriage altogether. They could divorce their husbands if they were unhappy. They could demand compensation if they were wronged. They could be warriors, healers, poets, or rulers. Unlike in Rome, where a woman was always under the control of her father or husband, Celtic women could be independent and powerful in their own right. They were respected, feared, and never underestimated. The Romans tried to erase them, but the stories of Boudica, Scathach, and Queen Meb still live on. The Celtic women were warriors, queens, and mystics, unlike any others in the ancient world. Their legacy remains a symbol of strength, power, and freedom. Because a Celtic woman does not ask for power, she takes it.